What is up, beautiful people? It's me, Tara J, back again with another one, of course. And again, today is another sad video. I'm not really hyped and talking about anything exciting, or I'm not reviewing anything or all of that good stuff like I normally do. I'm here to talk about what's going on nationwide. So before I get into that, I do want to make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel. I do want to make sure you guys are aware of any bad comments that do come on my channel will be deleted. I do want to make sure you guys know, please thumb up and like this video. And just pray more. That's all you can pretty much do, right? So let's get into it. So I want to go, for starters, and to say that if you have a platform, you should be discussing the issue the best way you can. I don't have a huge platform. I have a couple thousand subscribers, but hey, I'm still making my voice be heard. It's some people out here that has a whole bunch of subscribers and that have the public's attention much more than I do. And I haven't seen too many videos talking about what's going on around the world. And I'm not too sure if I like that too much. But hey, YouTube is YouTube, and people are doing it for their own benefit and things like that. But I just feel like if you have a voice, if you have something to say, you should be saying something. Because if that's all you feel like you can do, then do it. That's why I'm on here again for the second time to discuss the issues that have been going on. And I feel like, why not, right? I'm all over my social media, retweeting, tweeting, posting things on my Facebook, posting things on my Instagram, my story and things like that. But I'm still making it aware that I am still a civilian, I'm still a citizen, and I'm in my right mind. I may not be up doing certain riots and certain lootings and things like that, but I'm still speaking on the behalf of what's wrong is wrong, and what needs to change needs to change. So I would like to see more YouTubers. I would like to see more influencers doing more. But then you got those people that's on Twitter that are instantly getting canceled for saying the wrong thing. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of a double standard, you know? So, let's get into it, right? So, the past couple of days, it's been a bunch of protesting, a bunch of riots, a bunch of looting, and things like that. And you have people that's like, oh my God, it's all the blacks are doing it, all the blacks are doing it, all the blacks are doing it. But if you watch the videos, it's not just the black people that are on the front line. It's like other ethnicities. And that's a good thing that other ethnicities came out, other ethnicities are out protesting and things like that. But when it comes to pointing the finger and things like that, don't just point it at the blacks, because the blacks are not the only ones out. And when it comes to who's rioting, who's looting, I mean, the first initial riot and looting video that I first saw was in the Minnesota area when the Target was busted open. And if you see what's all over social media, it looks like that was not a black man that busted those windows out. It looks like it was not a black woman who busted those windows out. It looks like it was not only black men and women running through there getting things. So when it comes to pointing the finger, we do have to make sure we are aware of who's doing what, who's involved in what, and who is not, okay? And then you got those silent protesters that are other ethnicities, like the Native Americans. I thought that was beautiful. The Amish people, I thought that was amazing. But as the riots continue, I'm in like this I got mixed feelings about it. Like, I'm not sure how I feel. Like when it first happened, I was like, cool, burn that shit down to the ground. Because I haven't had a good explanation of why they shouldn't be doing that. Rioting is rioting, and you can't tell people how to riot. You can't tell people how to protest. You can't tell people how to release their anger, because at this point people are fed up. And as they should be fed up, because I'm fed up. I'm not one of those people that would be out looting and tearing things to the ground, because I'm not, because I feel like it is other people that will. That's all I can say. I'm not gonna belittle anyone and say what people should or should not be doing, but it's people out there that are doing it. And when it comes to the looting, lately I haven't been seeing any videos of someone just walked past my car and he was like really close. And then when it comes to looting, it's kind of like we, instead of pointing the finger at people that are looting, point the finger at what caused the looting to happen. George Floyd's death and the police officer who kneeled on his neck for about 8.5 to 9 minutes, right? And my sister texted me telling me to stay in the house. I'm in the house. I'm in the car. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going. I thought I was going to go to the beauty supply store to finish getting my hair twisted, but that's not happening. So yeah. Like I was saying, yeah, so we remember to point the finger at where it started, and then come to when the looting did begin in Minnesota. The most disappointing thing that I've seen, and you know what? He didn't even disappoint me at all. It was like, what else can you expect, right? Your President Trump. It was one of those, like, when the looting starts, the shooting starts, and then Twitter deleted it, but a bunch of people already got a bunch of screenshots on it. So it's kind of like, as the president of an entire nation, that's what you choose to do. But when the Nazis was walking up the street, you were saying, oh, it's good people on both sides. Or when the white Americans were protesting because they didn't want to stay in the house because the COVID-19 was going on, you were saying, help those people, those are patriots and all of that crap. But when blacks are out, and it's not even only blacks out protesting, that's what people don't get, it's other people that are protesting too, and you're calling them thugs. What I'm wondering is, are the people that are in the front line, are they being called thugs too? And the sad part about this is he didn't give a valid explanation as to, it's people I said, I don't know what they're doing, but anyway, he didn't even give a reason as to what was it said for. He gave a BS excuse as to why that was stated, and people always take his words out of context. No one takes his word out of context. We know you're a very disgusting person, and we are expecting you to say something disgusting. At this point, no one in this country should expect you to act differently, because we see you, we know what you are, and we know what you stand for, and it's not the people. Excuse me, guys. However, when it comes to black businesses, this is the part I'm like really, 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 really sad, because people are calling the looters like stupid. People are calling the looters like dumb. They're just out stealing for their own reasons. Again, I don't 100% agree with the looting at all, like not even a little bit. But I know I'm going to accept that it comes with the rioting. Like, look back at the LA riots in 1992. They burnt that city to the ground, and all those buildings. Y'all think they burnt all that merchandise? Y'all don't remember the pictures of people running out with those little box TVs? It's a repeat. The country is repeating itself, and looting is looting, and it's tied into rioting because, like I said, people are fed up. I just wish that people weren't tearing down black businesses or just out just because of the sake of, I want this. Because that's the vibe that I'm starting to get. Like, oh, y'all tearing up this place, cool, I'm finna ride up there and get some too. Like, I watched a few live videos on Facebook, and people were talking about, oh, I'm just waiting on them to bust the ATM open. Or people were talking about, oh, well, the police is standing out, they lining us up. And I was just like, I don't understand why you feel like that's okay to publicize, or people are like selling merchandise at a crazy price and justifying it. Or people are saying like, y'all are stupid, people are stupid for looting, doing this and doing that. But my thing is, shouldn't it be more so one of those things where you are focusing more on the government aspects of the buildings or the areas where that doesn't affect your own community, when these places that we're currently in now is affecting your community? And what are you going to do? Are you going to help these people rebuild these places up? It's a bunch of different places in Chicago that they tore apart and they ripped it to pieces. And How do we know that we're going to get these places back? Like, a lot of Black-owned companies, it took them years to get the storefront. It took them years to get merchandise. It took them years to even get the funding or things like that. I mean, I get it. I definitely get it. Buildings and merchandise is replaceable, but a life is not. I'm definitely standing on that as well. But it's kind of like Black to Black. Like, we're kind of hurting our own people. And it's really, really sad to me that it's happening, because I've watched a lot of I watched a lot of Black businesses. I watched a lot of Black people develop their own brand just for it to be destroyed in the 2020 riots because of one cop decides to kneel on a Black man's neck, and no one seems to make a difference. Like, we're during these riots, they arrested about 1,000 people at most, and this is only in Chicago, up to 1,000 people. However, we're still struggling to get a charge for the four police officers that were involved in the killing. And I just don't understand why. And people are wondering and focus on how people are stupid for rioting, people are stupid for this, and pointing the finger and who's to blame. But it's kind of like, what are you expecting people to do when shit hits the fan? We did everything peaceful. We did everything Martin Luther King like. And I mean, no disrespect to Dr. Martin Luther King, but we tried to do the peaceful protest, and it was still people out there really protesting peacefully, and that don't matter because they still was ran over by the police. I saw a young lady, younger than me, that had a bullet hole through her head because they were shooting out rubber bullets. I saw a child ran over in tear gas because she was out there protesting. I saw an older woman, elderly, shot and killed because she was out there protesting with a sign, and I don't see how that is possible. What could she have done wrong? If she wasn't killed, please correct me. She could have been hit with the rubber bullet just like the young lady, but at this point, the young lady, she has a hole in her forehead just from protesting, and this all occurred shortly after, roughly around the time when your president said, when the looting starts, the shooting starts. And it's really disgusting to me that people feel like it was okay to do. Like, you still have people in leadership positions that are sitting and just like, okay, well, like I'm not sure, it could be the DA that's talking about that we still have to look for evidence. There is still viable evidence, and that still has to be reviewed before we can charge these police officers and arrest these police officers fully. And they're wondering why people are so angry, because what do you see? Everybody saw this video nationwide. Everybody is outraged. Everybody see that this man was on the ground and he was detained. He caused no harm to anyone. He nothing. I don't understand how we still have to investigate this issue. And now all of a sudden this one police officer is on. I mean, this could be a accusation. This could be something on Twitter or social media that was made up, because a lot of things are made up on social media. But it could be a fact that now he's on suicide watch. Why? You wasn't on suicide watch when you fled your home to Florida. You wasn't on suicide watch when your ego boosted a little when you was kneeling on his neck as he was crying out for his deceased mom. You wasn't on suicide watch when none of this stuff was happening. You wasn't on suicide watch when all of those 12 other criminal complaints against you were occurring. Now all of a sudden that the world is going mad and the world is falling because of your one dumb, I'm not even going to call it a mistake, your murder caused the world to shake. And I actually think it's great that the world is shaking. I'm just disappointed in the fact that people are, as I'm continuing to watch videos, that people are constantly showing the vibe that there's a group of protesters here and there's a group of looters over here, and they're mixing the two. I mean, you have people that are protesting, that were protesting and now are looting, or that were looting the day of the protest. But as of what I've been seeing as of today, I've seen way more looting videos than protesting videos. And or like I saw a video of I'm not gonna say like the business or whatever, but a black owned business in Chicago, and they had video camera of just, it doesn't even seem like a full crowd, which means that this was definitely premeditated. These two guys pull up in their car and break into the business and steal from the business in their car and drive off, which means that was premeditated. You got people that's actually like sitting in a crib like, okay, this is going on, so we need to take advantage of this. And they ride up to the store and break in and steal. Just like I saw another, I was on Facebook and I saw another young lady posting like, oh, well, since they ran up in that hair store, anybody want to run up in such and such hair store? It's like, that's not a part of the protest. That's not making a difference. That's the part that is like why I'm indifferent about it, why I got mixed feelings, because it's like, okay, I'm with it. I'm with the shit. Burn the shit down. State your claim. It needs to be happening. We need some unity all over the country for the same cause. We doing all of these protests, all of these riots at a different time for the same reason. This is fabulous. I'm for it 100%. But when it comes to like something premeditated, that's like, okay, well, shit, if y'all are out here tearing shit up and stealing, I'm just gonna ride over here to this store and I'm gonna steal out of this store too. It's like, that's not cool. Like, that's really, really, really not cool, because y'all are the same people that watch these people start from the ground up, trying to develop what they trying to get to where they are now, and you just knocking them down. You're knocking them down. That's envious. That's hatred. And that's like, that's when you have to dig in within yourself and try to wonder, where are you mentally? If you can't afford this hair, or if you can't afford these products, that means you don't need it. And that's something that I've always stood on in my lifetime. It's like, I'm not really big on clothing labels. I'm not really big on like high-end fashion. I like the stuff. I would love to have it, but I know that if I can't afford it, that means I don't need it, and I have other responsibilities and other priorities for me. But if now in this generation everybody's looking for a label, everybody's looking for a clout, everybody is looking for this, y'all tearing shit up for no reason. And who's going to be here to rebuild all of that shit up? Are y'all gonna help? Are y'all gonna help in y'all community? Y'all tore the same community y'all tore apart. Are y'all gonna help rebuild that up in a better way? Are y'all gonna get involved in a community like y'all should? Y'all tore it down for what reason? Because the whites not coming in there rebuilding it. At this point, it's going to be a whole lot of new vacant lots around the city, especially on the south side. It's going to be a whole lot of new vacant lots, a whole lot of buildings torn down. It's going to be a whole lot of empty shit everywhere. If y'all not coming back in, putting black on it, and developing it in a black way. And that's real. And I don't see anytime soon any of the people that's tearing shit up gonna do it. Because what I just saw a video up the street from me, from actually where I currently stay, there, CD Sports ripping it open. And what I'm not understanding is how is the police standing there watching it occur? Like, what are you policing at this point? Are you just watching it? Are you just sitting and like being okay with the fact that they're tearing this store and this community apart? Like, I don't understand why are you there if you're not gonna stop all of this from occurring? Like, I saw one police cop walk up as people are running out the window, like, oh yeah, y'all can't be doing this. Y'all can't be doing this. It's like, apparently they can, because at this point you sound like a joke. And like I said, there are people, I'm probably repeating myself over and over and over again, because I cannot stress the fact that there are people that are being blamed for other people's issues and other people's actions. It really are people that are rioting, are tearing shit up for a cause. But it's really people out here that are taking advantage of the cause at what's going on right now, and I don't like that. I don't purposely like that it is people. there are people out here that are like, okay, cool, we just finna get up and we finna go steal out of this store. Like, I laughed a few times about it, like, oh, at this point, well, shit, I need this, y'all, I need this, because that's what people do. But I don't see myself actually getting up and like, okay, well, if this is happening up here, I'm gonna just go over here and do it too. Like, throughout the entire city though, like, did y'all go up north at all? Like, y'all coming into the black neighborhoods, tearing the black shit up, and this is pretty much all we got. Like, I haven't heard anything about anything past River North. And then y'all, I saw a video talking about, where people talking about like, people were praising the police officers River North off their balconies because they were stopping the looters and stuff like that. But I also saw a video and tweets about people throwing shit off their balconies because people were looting bike shops and they started shooting up at the balconies. It's like, how are you throwing shit off your balcony? How is that making a difference? What is that doing but making records of it even more? You're making people pissed even more because shit falling out the sky. So now they're like, okay, it's stuff coming at me from all different kind of angles. Now I'm really finna tear shit up. Like, a lot of people think they doing something, but they not. Y'all just making the situation worse. And that's the problem. You are making the situation worse. People are on social media talking about black on black crime. Spare me the agony. Like, this has absolutely nothing to do with black on black crime. This has absolutely everything to do with police brutality and racism in America. That's it. That's absolutely it. That is it. Like, it makes no sense. Like, people are just speaking just to speak. Or people are talking about how if we vote in a new president, or if we need to vote. Me personally, I don't think that's going to make a difference, because it's a lot of people that haven't been voting from the beginning, and because they just don't understand, or they may not have the resources, or they may not take advantage of the resources that they do have. Who knows? But I personally don't think that's going to make a difference, because racism is racism no matter who's in the White House or not. And what I can say personally is that I pray every day that things get better, and it hurts my heart to see things unfold the way they're unfolded. Another thing that every person with a voice in the audience and the following that has spoken out to say something or have done what they could to reach the amount of people that they're able to reach. And I'm proud and I'm happy that you've done that. But those people that haven't and do have a following, that do have an audience that can speak, and you haven't done that, you're just sitting back and watching, I wish I had a list of y'all, because I would definitely, you'll be canceled in my book. Because it's kind of like, why not? And to me, it's a list of a bunch of people. You know how many athletes there are? You know how many? It's hockey, football, soccer, women's basketball, men's basketball. What else? So many things that people, soccer, football, baseball, basketball, women's basketball, all of these colleges. Everything that has a voice, that should be speaking, that could be speaking, should be speaking. And if you're not speaking, then you're a part of the problem. If you have spoken on nothing else but the looters, you're a part of the problem. If you have not said anything at all, or you are pro racism, or you are a racist, you're a part of the problem. And if you're not at home teaching or having your children watch what's happening in the world, you're a part of the problem, because racism is taught. It is not something that you're born into. Your mind is molded into thinking that these people over there are less than you. You're better than this person, and that's an ego trip. And as soon as people realize it's an ego trip and no one is better, and we're all humans coming from the same place. I mean, granted, black people are superior, but but hey, we all are humans, and we will never get it. And it's gonna take a really, 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 really long time. And you know what? It's funny thing is that I've been telling people that the generation, I'm not too sure what the generation is called, but like the 8-year-olds, they like 8-year-olds and younger. They're the brightest generation that I've seen in my lifetime. Even my own generation, like, no, they're the brightest generation. I think that after everything that's going on right now in 2020, by the time they hit my age, which is like almost 30, that generation is a generation that's going to make a difference. And I just pray that I'm alive to see it, because they're just so bright and so smart. And maybe I'm just hoping that that's a generation that makes a difference, because I just hope. I really just hope, because I'm sad and my heart is aching for so many places. And I just wish that, I actually wish that I was like a millionaire and I can like rebuild all of these black owned companies that was destroyed and run for president. Shit. If I was running for president, I'd be satisfied. But make sure y'all vote in November. Make sure you speak out if you don't have a voice. If you do have a voice, make your voice be known. And I'm Tara J, guys. I'm out. Peace.